Hey there, Marvel fans. Welcome back to your one-stop destination for all things superhero and comic book lore. Today, we've got something extra special lined up. We're diving into the chilling and enigmatic world of one of Marvel's most mysterious villains, Muse. Have you ever stumbled upon a character so intriguing, so unsettling, that they leave a lasting impression long after you've closed the comic book? That's Muse for you. An artist with a deadly flair, he blurs the lines between creativity and chaos, leaving both heroes and readers questioning the boundaries of morality. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of Muse's character, from his shadowy origins and uncanny abilities to his complex relationship with Daredevil and the wider Marvel universe. So if you're ready to explore the mind of a criminal genius who's as artistic as he is dangerous, you're in the right place. Muse made his first chilling appearance in Daredevil Vol. 5 No. 11, released in 2016. Created by writer Charles Soule and artist Ron Garney, Muse was introduced as a new kind of adversary for our favorite man without fear, a villain who isn't just physically daunting, but also psychologically unsettling. Muse is a serial killer with an artistic twist. He considers himself an artist, and unfortunately his masterpieces are anything but conventional. Using the streets of Hell's Kitchen as his canvas, he creates disturbing installations made from the bodies of his victims. The inspiration behind Muse's character stems from the real-world intersection of art and morality. In interviews, Charles Soule mentioned wanting to explore a villain who challenges Daredevil not just physically, but morally and ethically. Muse embodies the idea of unchecked creativity. What happens when art ignores all boundaries and consequences? Muse contrasts with Daredevil, who relies on his heightened senses to detect and combat crime. This makes their encounters all the more intense and suspenseful. What's particularly interesting is how Muse contrasts with Daredevil. We don't know his real name, his origins, or what led him down such a dark path. This lack of information only heightens the enigma surrounding him, making readers and Daredevil himself question who or what they're really dealing with. Let's talk about what makes Muse such a formidable foe, his powers and abilities. Unlike many of Marvel's villains, Muse doesn't possess traditional superpowers like super strength or the ability to fly. Instead, his abilities are a blend of uncanny skills and an unpredictable mind. Muse has an extraordinary talent for evading detection. He moves with a stealth that's almost superhuman, often slipping through the fingers of both law enforcement and superheroes alike. Then there's his artistry. While not a power in the traditional sense, Muse's creative genius is both his defining trait and his weapon. He uses his victims as materials for his art installations, crafting scenes that are as haunting as they are visually striking. Muse displays a form of regenerative healing. In the comics, he's shown surviving injuries that would be fatal to most people. Muse's true power lies in his ability to manipulate, unsettle, and challenge the very notion of heroism and justice. He's a psychological threat as much as a physical one, pushing his adversaries to their limits. Muse's story arc and his chilling encounters with Daredevil begin in Hell's Kitchen, where a series of gruesome art installations start appearing overnight. These aren't typical street murals. They're made from the bodies of missing individuals, including criminals and even inhumans. The public is both terrified and morbidly fascinated. Daredevil, operating as the city's guardian, takes it upon himself to stop this macabre artist. However, tracking Muse is no easy task. Muse has an uncanny ability to evade detection, and his unpredictable nature makes him a slippery target. One pivotal moment occurs when Muse kidnaps Blindspot, Daredevil's protege. Blindspot, whose real name is Samuel Chung, is a young hero trying to make a difference in his community. Muse blinds Blindspot, leaving him severely injured. This act isn't just a physical assault, it's a psychological blow to Daredevil, who feels responsible for his young ally's fate. Driven by anger and guilt, Daredevil intensifies his efforts to stop Muse. Their confrontations are brutal and raw, showcasing some of the most intense fight scenes in the Daredevil series. Muse targets the Inhumans, a group of superhumans with unique abilities. He kidnaps several Inhumans to use in his art, which catches the attention of their leader, Reader. This crossover expands Muse's impact beyond Daredevil's world, hinting at the broader implications of his actions in the Marvel Universe. The climax of Muse's initial arc occurs when Daredevil and the Inhumans team up to take him down. After a fierce battle, they're able to subdue Muse, but not without significant cost. Muse later escapes custody, proving once again that he's not so easily contained. His return sends ripples through the superhero community, reigniting fears. Muse forces Daredevil to question his methods and the effectiveness of his vigilante justice. Muse's presence also highlights themes of art versus morality. His belief that art should have no boundaries puts him at odds with societal norms and laws. Muse challenges the traditional hero-villain dynamic. His actions force heroes like Daredevil to step outside their comfort zones. Dealing with a villain who doesn't respond to typical methods of reasoning requires new strategies and, in some cases, uncomfortable compromises. Muse's interactions with other characters also ripple throughout the Marvel Universe. His targeting of the Inhumans brings him into conflict with superpowered beings beyond Daredevil's usual sphere. This crossover indicates that Muse's influence could potentially spread much further. Muse brings to the forefront the theme of vigilantism versus legality. His art installations spark public debates about freedom of expression versus public safety. Muse also impacts the personal lives of characters he encounters. Blind Spot's blinding affects his future as a hero and his relationship with Daredevil. Muse symbolizes unpredictable threats in the Marvel Universe. Not all villains have grand schemes to take over the world. Some are driven by personal obsessions that can be just as dangerous. For Daredevil, confronting Muse means facing his own limitations and the consequences of his dual life. Let's talk about how fans have received Muse. From his debut, Muse has generated quite a buzz among readers and critics alike. Many fans appreciate the fresh take on a villain that Muse brings to the table. Critics have praised the creative team for introducing a villain who is both modern and relevant. Muse's gruesome methods aren't everyone's cup of tea. Some readers find his actions disturbingly graphic. However, this discomfort is often seen as intentional, a way to provoke thought. There's buzz about whether Muse might appear in other media adaptations, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or television series. Given his connection to Daredevil, and with Daredevil's recent inclusion in shows like Spider-Man: No Way Home, some fans hope that Muse could make an appearance in upcoming projects. His psychological complexity and horror elements would offer a different flavor compared to other Marvel adaptations. Fans are excited about the potential for deep, character-driven storytelling that Muse could bring. Well, there you have it, a deep dive into Muse, one of the Marvel Universe's most enigmatic and chilling characters. From his mysterious origins and unsettling artistry to his profound impact on heroes like Daredevil, Muse is a villain who leaves a lasting impression. His presence challenges not only the characters within the comics, but also us as readers, pushing us to think about the boundaries of art, morality, and justice. Muse isn't just a foe to be defeated. He's a complex character that embodies shades of gray in real-life ethical dilemmas.